Welcome back to English Hangout. Today I want us to look at a topic that is peculiar to those who intend to sit for WAEC and JAMB. So as a result, today we'll look at 3 or 4 phrasal verbs and their meaning. So in our subsequent video also we'll pick 3 or 4, then we'll sample some JAMB questions. Phrasal verb is a compound arising from a combination of a verb and a preposition or an adverb. So your knowledge of the individual words in a phrasal verb does not give you an insight into the appropriate meaning that particular phrasal verb will generate in context. First, look at this word. Round up and round off. These 2 phrasal verbs on the whiteboard are many times being misused by second language users of English. You hear some persons, right, substituting round off for round up because they do not know the one for the context in which they need to use them for. Round up is to gather, to arrest, or even to capture, right? So the word round off means to conclude. So in context, you can have an expression like this: the police rounded off the criminal yesterday. So as a result, round off here indicates that the police arrested the criminal yesterday. That is for the first one. For the second phrasal verb, you can have I will. No, this is round up. So you can have I will round off this class soon. To round off here is to conclude. So as a JAMBite or as a WAEC student who intend to sit for any of these examination, one thing you need to know is that your knowledge, for example, if you have words like drew, up, right? Here you have a verb followed by a preposition. So your knowledge of drew and your knowledge of up cannot give you an insight into the meaning of drew up. As a result, when you have a phrasal verb followed by either a preposition or an adverb, for example, there can be a variety of words of meaning. So as a result, students need to study phrasal verb in context as well as the appropriate meaning and how you can use them. So if you look at this word, drew up, for example, drew up is to stop, right? So in context, you can have the car drew up. At the governor's office. So the word drew up has been used here, mean the car words stopped at the governor's office. So I will advise every JAMBite to go and study phrasal verbs. Although there are some foreign phrases which can be found in some of the JAMB questions these days, words like ab initio, words like de facto. Probably in some of our next videos, I will examine each of these foreign phrases and their meaning in context. So in our subsequent video, we'll be looking at some other phrasal verbs and their meaning. And finally, before we conclude this episode on phrasal verb, we'll sample some JAMB question, probably 2025, 2024, and 2023. Then we'll look at the options as well as the right answer. I believe you've been able to learn something today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you and God bless.